With reports on consecutive killings of politicians, Vice Mayor Alex Lubigan of Trece Martires City in Cavite was shot dead this afternoon. The Calabarzon Regional Police confirmed Lubigan was on board a black Toyota Hilux traversing Trece Indang Road in Barangay Luciano when the shooting took place. Police say the shot came from a black Montero. Lubigan is the third high-ranking local official killed this week following the assassination of Tanawan, Batangas Mayor Antonio Halili and Mayor Ferdinand Bote of Nueva Ecija. Councilor in Zamboanga City was also shot dead this morning. Joining us on the line for details is our Zamboanga-based journalist Marlon Pañares. Marlon, tell us all about this.
Yes, Mai. A village councilor was shot to death by a lone gunman this morning in Zamboanga City. Police said Michael Magallanes, the third councilor of Barangay Santa Catalina in Zamboanga City, was on board his motorcycle going to Lustre Street to supposedly attend a feeding activity when he was shot by the suspect at broad daylight. Earlier last year, Magallanes was also shot by a known assailant in Barangay Santa Catalina, but he survived the said attack, sustaining only slight gunshot wounds. Magallanes was a former treasurer turned village councilor. As of this time, police has yet to determine the motive of the killing. Mai?
All right, thank you. Marlon Pañares there reporting. We'll give you more details on this killing as soon as it becomes available. Is facing. Among them are President Duterte's recent tirades against the church and God himself, the visa issues of Australian missionary Sister Patricia Fox, and the outcome of their meeting with police officials about priest killings. The bishops are expected to issue a statement at the end of the three-day meeting on Monday. Outside the venue of the CBCP's plenary assembly, some groups held a small program. They're seeking justice for slain priests Mark Ventura, Tito Paez, and Richmond Nilo. President Duterte has been criticized in recent weeks for his statement referring to a stupid God and repeatedly questioning Christian doctrines. President Duterte and CBCP President Romulo Valles are set to meet also on Monday. President Duterte is once again challenging the faithful, this time about God's existence. In his own words, Duterte says he will step down from the presidency if they have witnessed that their God exists.
And if there is any one of you there, the noisy ones, who would say that you have been to heaven, talk to God, so him personally, and that he exists, the God that is yours, and if that is true, I will step down the presidency. Pero ito kasing ibang reliyon, kung talagang tumutulong ka sa tao, bakit humingi ka ng pera sa tao?
Duterte clarifies he is a believer of a supreme God but questions some acts of religious sects, including the practice of donation. Tensions rose anew after Duterte called God stupid. Malacanang, however, claims that it was just a response to 2 years' worth of attacks from the church. In other news, President Duterte warns his cabinet members will be held liable if the administration's key projects will be delayed or end up faulty. More from our correspondent, Rex Remitio.
Wala akong nakitang daan dito sa Pilipinas na natapos on time na hindi pudos ng graft and corruption.
President Duterte will implement a new policy starting Saturday. He will hold cabinet members responsible for delayed or faulty projects. The president has earlier expressed impatience at the slow pace of infrastructure projects, especially in the countryside.
So I would like to call the attention of the secretaries, especially Secretary Villar, that if there is any slippage of any work of any kind by the national government, if you delay, or if I see tomorrow, beginning tomorrow, and you're all invited to see me in Malacanang,
The administration is now embarking on an ambitious build infrastructure program. The economic team is under pressure to roll out or at least approve 75 projects worth 9 trillion pesos. But as of May 2018, the President, his cabinet, and the central bank have approved only 35 of the 75 projects. In the premiere episode of CNN Philippines Business Roundup on Friday, Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Ernesto Pernia vows to approve the rest within 4 years.
We are going to process about maybe another 30 or even 40 before the end of this administration. For NEDA board approval.
While approving a project is one thing, making it visible to the public is another. Of the 35 approved projects, 16 are estimated to be completed by 2022. The other 19 will be completed beyond the President's term. But Pernia tells CNN Philippines they are aiming to complete the construction of 32 projects before the end of the President's term. These are on top of the almost 5,000 minor projects like widening of roads nationwide.
Can we actually afford to go at a faster pace?
Well, our analysis shows that we can. In fact, we want to finish even more than 32 projects by the end of this administration.
The government have put up a task force that will spot bottlenecks in the implementation of projects and resolve them as soon as possible. Market analyst Nisha Alicer tells the investing public this is the best time to go for infrastructure stocks. This despite the stock market falling into historical lows of below 7,200 points and might even go further down to a support level of 6,700. Rex Remitio, CNN Philippines.
Moving on to entertainment news, mark your calendars. The story of one of the most celebrated wartime heroes in Philippine history will soon hit cinemas. Paulo Avellino brings life to Goyo, or Gregorio del Pilar, one of the youngest generals during the Philippine-American War. This is the sequel to the 2015 historical biopic General Luna. Speaking to CNN Philippines, Paulo and director Gerald Tarog share why it's important for Filipinos to learn the story of Goyo.
For me, a millennial myself, it could speak to the millennials in a way where they could relate, because most of us are given like so much responsibilities and we actually don't know what to prioritize or how to handle things or what to focus on. We tend to be like what Goyo was then, kalat. I mean, we try to do everything at the same time. Another thing is to know more about this side of our history that wasn't really taught to us in school.
Yeah. Ikaw, Direk, what's the one big thing we should learn from Goyo, actually?
May isang element dun sa storyline about analyzing yourself and what's important to you. So parang in a way para siyang critical thinking, an encouragement for people to think critically. So may ganun siya kasi yung buhay ni Goyo that time, he was sort of like ano siya ni Aguinaldo parang right hand man siya ni Aguinaldo. Yeah. So dumating siya sa point na kailangan niyang pag-isipang mabuti kung pakakawalan niyo ba yung ego niya, lahat ng importante sa kanya, yung
posisyon,
glory, yes.
Lahat, diba?
Yan. And para i-sacrifice niya yung sarili niya para sa bayan.
Goyo hits theaters September 5. Turning kids' basketball dreams into reality doesn't come easy, but with guidance from their parents and support from the private sector, nourishing their ambition is now possible. Take a look.
Getting ready. Basketball is ingrained in almost every Filipino boy who grew up in a neighborhood with even just a makeshift hoop or court. On afternoons, they would grab a ball and go outside, practice dribbling, do crossovers, and master three-pointers. Most dream of playing for the big leagues one day. Kids like Gabriel, Philip, and Dwayne.
Wala 6 years old po lang, naglalaro na po ako ng basketball. Masaya po ako pag nagpa-basketball. Saka po, pangarap po maging basketball player.
Kapag bakasyon, sumasali po kami sa mga liga kung saan-saan. Pag nakakalaro ko yung iba, mas lalo pa akong gumagaling. Nakakumpiyansa ko yung sarili ko.
Behind every basketball kid is a basketball dad. Anthony makes it a point to get his kids active whether school is in or out.
Nandun ako tuwing gusto nilang maglaro. Nag-jogging kami, 2 to 3 hours, tapos uwi sa bahay. Pagdating sa bahay, trabahong bahay naman yung aming pinag-uusapan. Gaya ni Gabriel, marunong magugas, marunong magsaing, marunong magluto ng ulam. Naging self-confident siya sa sarili niya na kaya nang gawin. Ano gusto niyang gawin?
Tuto ako ng basketball dahil sa mga kapitbahay namin at ituruan ako ng kuya ko at sa sarili ko. Yung 8 to 9 years old ako, hindi daw masyado ako marunong, hindi nila ako pinapasalik. Sinabi ko sa sarili ko, kaya ko to. Gusto ko talagang lalakas at pagdating ng araw, nakikita na ako sa TV, sa PBA. Nagpapalagi sa akin ang lolo ko at saka lola kasi ang papa ko patay na at ang mama ko nandun sa abroad.
Despite the challenges, Dwayne perseveres. He brings this winning attitude to Milo Barangay Liga, where kids like him learn what it takes to succeed and make little victories.
Pangarap ko maging PBA player para sumikat at magkaroon ng adaming fans at magkapera para matulong sa pamilya.
Watch the full story on CNN Philippines Presents Barangay Liga tonight at 8. When the newsroom returns, Maria Lourdes Sereno warns against charter change, and Mr. Pure Energy Gary Valenciano opens up about his health. Newsroom Weekend will be back in a bit. Keep it here on CNN Philippines. Ousted Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno says there is no need to change the present constitution. She raised concerns on the draft of the proposed federal constitution. Our Makoy Papioco reports.
Ousted Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno raises concerns over the progress of the move to change the constitution. Sereno points out why the official copy of the draft constitution has not been publicized yet.
Napaka-delikado po ng ganitong sitwasyon. Nag-aamba na ang isang maaring napakalaking pagbabago. Ngunit ngayon, ilang buwan na lamang sa inaakala nilang maaring mangyaring plebisito. Naririnig na po natin ang Oktubre, Disyembre, Pebrero. Wala pa ho tayong reliable na copy.
The ousted Chief Justice says she read unofficial copies available online and also watched press briefings of the body drafting the charter. Sereno says, based on what she read and watched, she does not find the need to change the Constitution.
There is nothing that will prevent this present Congress from giving any economic benefit to the regions or the provinces that they cannot do so now within the present Constitution and using their legislative powers.
Sereno is also worried over the possibility of double taxation under the federal government.
There will now be several levels of taxes. Federal taxes, state taxes, even barangays are authorized to assess fees. Wala hong built-in mechanism pang naiisip ang komisyon to prevent double taxation.
Ding Generoso, the spokesperson of the consultative committee, in response to Sereno says they will submit the draft charter first to the president on Monday, July 9, as a matter of courtesy. Then, copies will be released to the public. Sereno was among the speakers at the pre-State of the Nation forum called State of Tyranny, where critics of the president gathered to discuss their assessment of his second year in office. They give Duterte a failing mark, accusing the government of deception through propaganda spread on social media.
It has been a series of failures, pero dinadaan na lang ni Pangulong Duterte sa buladas, no? At yung kanyang pagmumura, yung kanyang karisma, pero hindi sapat yun eh.
Siyempre fail kung ang point of view mo ay ang sitwasyon ng mamamayan, napakataas ng presyo ng bilihin. Hindi naman natasan ng sweldo ng nakararami maliban sa mga pulis at AFP.
The critics highlight the problems hounding the government, including the West Philippine Sea issue, the alleged human rights abuses committed in the war on drugs, and the rising inflation. Critics say Mr. Duterte should address these problems and not distract Filipinos with his jokes and gimmicks in his second sauna. Makoy Popioco, CNN Philippines.
A check on the weather. A strong typhoon is seen to enter the Philippine area of responsibility on Monday. Weather Bureau Pagasa says the typhoon with international name Maria was last seen 1,995 kilometers east of central Luzon, packing winds of 185 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 225 kph. Once it enters the country, it will be named Gardo. Pagasa warns while landfall in the country is less likely, the typhoon may still enhance the southwest monsoon or habagat. This means rains are possible over western Visayas and western parts of regions 3 and 4. Metro Manila may also have occasional rains and thunderstorms early next week. Still ahead, no more worries for fans of Gary Valenciano. Mr. Pure Energy clarifies he is cleared of the Big C. And inspiring photos of the homecoming of our Marawi heroes. Back after a quick break, stay with us. Filipinos are complaining about the higher prices of basic goods and services. Now consumers are facing an added burden, higher power rates. AC Nichols reports.
Consumers are hit hard by recent spikes in prices of fuel and basic goods. Worse, they have to bear with higher power costs. Meralco is charging by 31 centavos per kilowatt hour more this month, bringing the overall rate to a little over 10 pesos per kilowatt hour.
Ito ay bunga ng pagtaas mismo ng mga presyo mula sa wholesale electricity spot market at maging yung independent power producers at yung power supply agreements namin ay nagkaroon din ng upward adjustment. This is because of the lower average plant dispatch and the depreciation of the peso as against the US dollar.
For a typical household, the adjustment will mean paying around 63 pesos more based on the July billing statement.
At least I think in terms of consumption, medyo mas bababa ngayon kumpara nung mga nagdaang summer months dahil na rin sa init ng panahon ng mga nagdaang tag-init, buwan ng tag-init. Kaya maganda pa rin na ipagpatuloy natin yung masinop na paggamit sa kuryente.
As if on cue, the Nabarria family will do just this, cut more on energy use. While they don't use air conditioning, their freezers for cold drinks sold at their sari-sari store are energy guzzlers. Unplugging the freezers at night works for them.
Pati ilaw, bawas-bawasan. Lahat ng kuryenteng gamit, bawas-bawasan para makahabol sa kwan. Wala naman tayong magagawa dyan eh.
The additional charge comes after 2 consecutive months of lower rates in May and June. Meralco believes past reductions somehow ease the impact of this latest adjustment because despite the increase, the overall rate is still a bit lower compared to March and April. AC Nichols, CNN Philippines.
On top of rising prices of basic goods, commuters will have to shell out more for their jeepney ride. Trece Martires reports.
It's official. The minimum jeepney fare is now a peso higher. The Land Transportation Franchise and Regulatory Board has approved the increase from 8 to 9 pesos. The order covers Metro Manila, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, and the Mindoro, Marinduque, Romblon, Palawan region or Mimaropa.
Among other things is the increase in the pump prices of fuel. That there is inflation rate, that we have to consider, and it was proven that there was.
Jeepney drivers welcome the move, but for some the increase is of little help.
Parang hindi maliit pa rin, hindi pa rin sapat yan ma'am na kasi magkano lang naman ang dinagdag sa mahal ng mga petrolyo na parang hindi sapat ma'am.
Sapat na yan sa ngayon. Pero kung magtaas ang diesel, mahihirapan din kami.
Passengers meanwhile have mixed reactions.
Hindi yan maganda kasi sa taas ng mga bilihin ngayon, pataas ng pataas, dahil sa yung train na yan. Wala silbi yung gobyerno natin. Pahirap ng pahirap sa mayan.
Ay wala akong magagawa kung talagang kailangan itaas.
Even before the order was released, many jeepney drivers had already raised their fares. Transport regulators say this is illegal.
Kung may mga complaints for overcharging, then we will docket the case, we will hear it, and if proven, then we will impose the proper penalty. The penalty being 5,000 for the first offense.
LTFRB says commuters may report drivers who do this. Trece Martires, CNN Philippines.
Let's take a look at how local stocks ended the trading week. Our business analyst Mike Alimurong gives us a recap.
Traders were cautious today as the stock market closed at 71.86, down by 46.86 points. The market is still in the red after it broke its 4-day winning streak yesterday. The industrial and services sub-indices saw a recovery. Meanwhile, the peso weakened by a mere centavo, closing at 53.42 versus the dollar. This was not far from the intraday high of 53.46 versus the greenback. The intraday low was 53.36 pesos.
Mr. Pure Energy Gary Valenciano clarifies he is cleared of cancer. The 53-year-old singer responded to his friends and fans on Twitter who expressed concern after reports saying he is battling cancer stemming from a teaser of a television interview. Gary responds to Miles Ocampo saying he is much better today. He adds, quote, "I've been cleared of the big C. I'm okay, Miles." Gary answers another tweet saying, quote, "Do know I already am healed." Details of the singer's journey to recovery and diagnosis still remains unclear. He also went through bypass surgery in May after doctors noticed a blocked artery in his heart caused by diabetes. That's the newsroom this Saturday, July 7. I'm Mai Rodriguez.